I've driven up here from Birmingham today. We're doing an event at the unit with Screen Skills tomorrow, but I'm delighted to come here this evening and join Louisa. And we're really happy to answer any questions that you have. Remember, there's no such thing as a stupid question, all right? No such thing.
That touches on a really good point, because I don't know what everyone else's background is, we'll get to you, but a lot of people leave film school thinking they're just going to work as directors, and especially when I've been reviewing some bursaries for people in the region, cool. A lot of their applications have been like, I want to be a director and I need a camera to do this, and it's like, that's all well and good if you want to make independent films with no budget, amazing, that's great, crack on, but realistically there are steps to get there, and it's very rarely someone will walk out of film school and, you know, walk onto set as a director or even get a job as a writer straight away. Come on in, don't worry, we're just having a chat. So that's, yeah, because I never went to film school personally, so my background's just been experience in the industry, but it's something I think people don't know unless you tell it and spell it out for them. And it seems quite harsh, doesn't it? But
yeah. And but also, going the post-production route is a really sensible route, but it's not the only route. I'm talking to you, and you know, looking at camera, you know, cinematography and cameras and that route. Is the ambition to eventually direct, or are you looking really happily at being a DOP in a cinema? Yeah, and that's absolutely fine. I worked with a DOP last year for events, not making films, and she was a tiny Japanese woman. It was amazing, Mira, and she had always wanted to be a cinematographer, but she found herself working as an assistant on Doctor Who. Then she became the focus puller.
What a great job, though.
I know, but she became the focus puller, and she stayed being the focus puller on Doctor Who for 13 years before moving herself up. And she's only in the last couple of years moved up to be a DOP. But you know, and that's I always think that's a good bit of information to convey. Is you know, if you find your niche and you're happy doing it, there is no problem sticking at that. Yes, of course, you can have this ambition to walk, you know, go all the way up to the top rung of the ladder. But you know, I have somebody who loves being a runner. And now she is a superb runner. I just want to be a runner. I love being a runner. You know, in a couple of years she might think, do you know what, I'm going to move up. But you know, there's no reason why you should chase up that ladder to get to somewhere if you're really enjoying what you're doing at the time.
Yeah, it's very true. Should we get to know some more of the audience?
Yeah, let's do that.
There's a big shortage in the production department, a massive skills shortage. So especially over COVID, all the posts on all the Facebook groups, if you're not in these Facebook groups, you know, there's like people who work in TV runs, maybe you could shout some out for me as well, Northern Freelance Crew, things like that a lot of jobs get posted in there, and it was all production coordinators, production managers, such a shortage. And if you're interested in that department, start off as a runner in that department, not just a generic, well, if you can, if it's all you can get, fine, but aim to be a production runner and get that experience in the production office, because it's very different from being on set, in my experience.
There is a massive shortage. I found out a statistic a few weeks ago that I had to get double checked, because I thought, is that true? And apparently since COVID, 34,000 people have left production. I had to get it double checked because I thought, no way.
It's a massive amount, isn't it?
It's huge, which means that the opportunities are there for you guys. So, you know, that's a lot of people from the upper, you know, my kind of age, who just chucked the towel in during COVID and thought, you know what, I'm going to do something different. If anybody's an accountant or got accountancy qualifications,
oh my God, yes,
they will give you a job in like that.
There's a lot of funding and opportunities going around for XR Stories in York, and that's kind of like immersive storytelling, multi-narrative, all that. I've worked on some jobs doing that, and it's really cool. Like one job I had 16 scripts for one film, just blew my mind because of all the different endings. But there's a lot of opportunities going around there, and training up in Unity, Unreal Engine, stuff like that. So that is, I feel like that section's about to boom massively. So if you're thinking of a career switch, that might be a pretty exciting one to jump onto.
I know people who've really channeled their neurodiversity into being brilliant production coordinators and production managers. If you like order, if you like organising things and getting things, and getting all the details and poring over detail, then it's definitely a plus.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've got ADHD, and working as an assistant director before a director, I'm like this all over the place, but it means I catch things. You know, the actor's gone to the toilet, I know where they are, I know how long they're going to be till the back, all this stuff.
I always say, spend your first couple of years view it as a honeymoon period and just go and explore. Because the thing about working in TV and film and so on, it's short-term contracts. So you never really get locked into anything. And it's really getting through the door is the most important thing. Go and ask questions, just observe and soak it all up. You'll find your tribe. You will. You'll find your tribe.
Mm-hmm. I'll chip in, I guess. Come down to one of the events and we'll go over all the different departments, but also don't be afraid not to go to uni. I know uni and studying has been amazing for some people, and it's just what they needed. Like, you're having a good experience, aren't you, Ethan? Yeah, he's nodding like, I think so. It's been an amazing experience for some people, but like I said, I've got a degree in psychology. Not well, you kind of, like your politics degree, there'll be politics on set, and once you kind of, you understand people better, so you can apply any kind of education to being on set. But don't be afraid to jump straight in and get experiences. Look up these Facebook groups. It's like people who work in TV, people who work in TV, runners, Northern freelance production staff. I'm just reeling some off here.
Talent North? Is Talent North?
Talent North, yeah. Yorkshire Crew Network, something like that. But if you're interested in runners, and I don't know if these are still going, so I think they are, but there's Call Time Connect in Liverpool, which is like a runner training agency kind of thing, and they can get you placements on stuff. And also, I shouldn't forget this, because Screen Skills Trainee Finder. Yeah. The applications are open now, and it is a great way to get your first placement in the industry paid. I'd say just kind of like networking, make the most of all the people you've got either in the room or in the building that have great connections, and just don't be afraid to put yourself out there. It is terrifying, don't get me wrong, but once you put yourself out there and people know what you want, they start thinking of you for things. So just kind of say I'm interested in camera trainee work, get some business cards done, follow people on LinkedIn, and also a shout out to my good friends at the unit in Bradford where Screen Skills are doing their workshop tomorrow. They have like a network of all the filmmakers in Bradford and the surrounding areas. We've got a WhatsApp group. We'll post like, I'm looking for this, I'm looking for that. And you can say what you want. And then it might be that I'm crewing up for a short or something in a couple of months. And I'm like, I know someone that wants to be a camera trainee. I'll give them that credit and that experience. So network is everything, I think. I would suggest looking for production designers. Now I'm going to be really obvious and I apologise for being patronising, but they're the head of the art department. You know, they're in charge of all things art department. I've got production designer friends that employ graphic designers to do all the branding, say on a can we need to cover, school logos, all that stuff. Just like do some research, find stuff that's been filmed locally in the area, which if you go on the Bradford UNESCO City Film site, you've got a list of everything. Look at the production designers who is in the art department team, follow them on Instagram and drop them a message. Be a pest because it might just stick. It's worked with me. People have messaged me before and been like, I'm looking for this. I've been like, do you know what, perfect timing, okay, on you come, kind of thing. Yeah.
I mean, this industry is not formal. You're not going to find your next job on Indeed with a fully written job description. Just doesn't happen. You have to do exactly what Louisa just said, and just be persistent. Don't be a pest, and put your best work up and go. This is what I can do, and I could do it for you. It's kind of scary getting going, but actually we're all really friendly. I think we're all really friendly people, and it's quite informal. And that sometimes, throws people, the informality of it. Always think that if anybody asks to have a coffee with you, it's an interview. Or they're having a chat on the phone, it's an interview.
Yeah.
Or it's going to, let's not call it an interview, maybe it's going to lead to some work. The potential is there to lead to work. So always be on alert that this could be an opportunity for you. And once you get to know a few people, you will get known in a wider, if your work is good and people go, you're reliable, you're a pleasant person to work with, you will get recommended. They will become your sponsors. Those people who work with you, they'll talk about you when you're not in the room. They'll talk about you and recommend you. So that's how your networks grow. And then really what you will get to is a point where the work will just flow in, because people will recommend you, and you'll have to start working out your schedule and when you're going to do the work for that person before you do the work for that person.
Exactly. And sometimes you'll get into a little team, and that team will stick with you. Say if it's an assistant director team, I did like 8 films with one crew, back to back to back, because we all clicked and worked well. So it's about finding your tribe and just keep going for those opportunities in the meantime. I think we're getting cut off. Thank you. Okay. Thank you guys.